Howdy folks, we should be live. It is Monday, August 25th, 1:25 p.m. is the time. The temperature is about 21 degrees Celsius, and just as I got to Leslie Station and stepped outside, it started to rain, and it's kept up for a little bit. According to my phone here, it's going to stop in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. But for now, it is raining. Hopefully you can see and hear everything okay. Let me just check. Howdy, folks. And thank you to Reguito. 946 Super Chat. I need some advice. My friend is angry with me for 2 weeks. You've called him, left voicemail, sent text messages, but no response whatsoever. Sorry to hear that, Reguito, but thank you for the Super Chat. I don't know the situation or anything about it, but usually people come around after a little bit of time has passed. I see Marge is here, Medano, Math Doctor, Jillian Felix, Eileen Dover, Sakina, Hunya, Vivian Johnson, Drew, Nicole, Stephanie J, Jillian, Picard, 82 Windows, and everyone else. Simon Kitty, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be taking a stroll along Shepard. This is Shepard Avenue East. It's been a while since I've been out here. I've just been chilling right here at Leslie Station. Sanjay in Kingston is here. Alicia Lewis is here. Chad with a super chat. Chad Wabagwan, thank you so much for the super chat. Chad, thank you for the tenor, and thank you to Reguito as well. I hope you're all having an awesome Monday so far. I'm just going to get up. I think it has stopped raining enough that I don't need an umbrella, and probably the title of this stream could use an update. It's not really raining anymore. Well, thanks so much, Chad and Reguito, for the super. We're in North York. This is Shepard Avenue East. Normally when I come this way, I start my streams at, or I end them at Fairview Mall, but Fairview to Leslie is kind of a boring ass stretch. So I thought we would skip that. So we are following the route of line 4 for about 4 stops. And then at Yonge and Shepard, I'll have to decide if we're going to go north or if we're going to go south. Maybe we'll take a little impromptu pull. Math Doctor says there's cheap meals, I don't know why I pronounce it that way, at the IKEA until the end of August. There's an IKEA right around the corner from here. I'll point that out in a moment. Philip says hello from Burlington. Every once in a while, I skip posting a video in the morning and I do a live stream, and that would be what we're doing today. And there's a big development going on right across the street there called Central Park. And there looks to be about 5 towers going up, 4 or 5. There's 3 cranes, plus that one. So at least 4. And one of the biggest residential developments in the city is coming up on the left. You always thought of Leslie Station as IKEA station? One second. But it's nice to finally not be lazy. I spent all of yesterday inside pretty much. I slept away most of the day. Drew says it's sunny in Yorkville. Well, hopefully that means this rain's going to cut out. It's still coming down lightly, but it's not quite umbrella worthy. And I slept all day yesterday. We had a pretty good Stumble stream over on the other channel, Johnny Stumbles, last night. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. We hit over 300 viewers at one point. I don't know if this artwork is new, but I quite like it. Nice splash of color. Just a heads up, this might be my last live stream in Toronto for a while. Greetings, Paul D. All right, Stephanie, go make your food. Just up here on the left will be a big plaza with a Canadian Tire in it. And the IKEA lies behind it. David Ing asking, am I still wearing sunglasses? Well, my Blue Jays hat is wearing them. I think the Jays are playing tonight around 7. Hopefully they get back on the winning track. I was actually kind of glad the Yankees won last night. Boston's the real threat, so keeping them at bay isn't a bad result there. Good afternoon, Gertach. Mike Landry, 149 super sticker. Mr. Landry, thank you so much for the super. Hope you're doing well over on the East Coast. Mike's been posting some nifty driving videos on his channel. Max Scherzer versus Joe Ryan. I'm kind of glad I wore a long sleeve t-shirt. I looked out of my balcony. Everyone I saw was wearing a t-shirt, but since it started raining, it's gotten quite a bit cooler. All right, there's the crappy tire on the left. So we're starting to enter something resembling civilization. Mike Landry says the smoky air is starting to go away. It was very bad this morning coming from Nova Scotia. Well, Concord Addicts is building a monster development just behind this Canadian Tire. There's a Mickey D's. Yeah, the IKEA is off in that direction. Why are we in St. Catharines? Are you drunk or in North York? All right, YMB van life. Hope you enjoy Toronto. Philip hasn't heard it called crappy tire in ages. I don't think I've ever not called it crappy tire. There we go. Got the light. So next stop, Bessarion. Bessarion was once considered the middle of nowhere when they built it. There's even a little documentary that went kind of viral on YouTube about it, but a whole lot of developments have sprung up in the area since then. I personally don't think they ever should have built line 4 on Shepard. Like, if there was ever a street that was screaming for a dedicated busway down the middle, this would have been it. It would have been nearly as fast and exponentially cheaper than building a subway. And the Eglinton West subway line would have been built in lieu of this one. Remember that idiot Mike Harris stopped construction on the Eglinton West line and decided that all they were going to do was build half of the Shepard line. Well, you can blame Mel Lastman for championing that stupid idea. There's the crappy tire and a big Concord development behind it. Have I ever thought about doing a weekly podcast with who? I don't know. I do the Sunday night sit-down show on the other channel. In the coming weeks, I should be having a guest on this channel for a walking video, and I'll probably have Ken back on at some point. We usually do a collab a few times a year. Math Doctor says going east on Eglinton West to Allen Road is a nightmare, especially around rush hour. Most of this was not here just a few years ago. King's Landing. I think they're building a supermarket in there. You get to live near an IKEA, kind of in between Leslie and Bessarion stations. This is Blue Ridge Road. It doesn't look like we're going to make the light cycle. Soren says, good day, Mr. Strides. Where are we off on this pre-fall day? Pre-fall. You could also call it post-spring. End of summer. 2 seasons away from winter. We're just going west on Shepard Avenue East. Probably until I get to Yonge, and then maybe we'll end it, maybe we'll go north, maybe we'll go south. Oh, that's not good. My limit order to buy 6 shares of... I set a very low limit order on a stock, thinking it wouldn't go that low. And it just filled. It's either good or bad news. Johnny is walking live streams in this town like pinball is to football, says Etobicoke. Could you make the Sunday Night Live a podcast as well? I don't know. I like it being interactive with the chat. Try and read the name of the community center coming up, says Tested 1, 2, 3. I've tried that and failed before. But sure, let's make an ass out of myself again. I always thought that was kind of a weird standalone mountain equipment co-op location. Concord Pilates, Concord Run Club, Concord Bike Rides. Those towers at the back, you've got a pretty far damn walk to get to Shepard if you're living back there. And they are right up on the 401. Cayman, 10 euros. Hi, Johnny. Could it be your noise reduction is on? Greetings from Germany. Cayman. It very well could be. Let me cross the street and we'll take a look for that. Thank you, Cayman. Concord Pilates, Concord Run Club. You know what? I think you might be right. It's sounding... That feature is fantastic when I'm driving and I want to cut out the air conditioning in the car, but for these live streams, when I'm outside, not so good. Come on, are you telling me you can't pronounce that? Ethenon Hawashtinen. No offense to whomever that is named after, but I would not have approved that as the name of this place. That just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Here, I'm just gonna check my audio receiver. Thank you, K-Man. You were correct. Hopefully that sounds better. Now say it 5 times fast. I don't know. That's almost like something out of the movie Idiocracy, isn't it? Art mates. Just imagine not being a native English speaker and coming across that. You'd get anxiety just reading. I get anxiety just trying to pronounce that. And it's raining enough, I think I'm gonna have to get my umbrella out. Thank you, K-Man. Confirming it sounds much better now. Melissa says, we were newbies, just found you. Eileen, it probably is, but I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but I don't necessarily agree with names that are impossible for 99% of the population to pronounce on first sight. There's people that are going to live right next to that place their whole lives and probably never pronounce that correctly or even try. All right, we've got the umbrella out. All right, thank you, Stephanie. Mr. Mountain Hiker is here. You find it so strange it can be raining in North York, but not in Midtown. Well, my phone said it would have stopped by now. Our goal is just to get to Yonge and then take things from there. This is Bessarion Road. That was Bessarion Station we went by. So next up is Bayview Station. Am I going to see Oasis? Negative. Missing Toronto, stuck in rehab with a quad injury, but on your way back. Hope that goes well, George. Sorry to hear about that. And again, best wishes to Peter Bradfield, who's undergoing a procedure this week, I believe. Yeah, Bessarion, the double S's are pronounced more like a Z. Or a Z, if you prefer that pronunciation. It means where they had a good, beautiful life. But we wouldn't call a street where they had a good, beautiful life in English. I know it's one word, but I don't know. I better shut up. I'm going to get myself in trouble. $6.99 by Originate and Harlow Capital. I don't even know what that is. Mark says look moist, or looks moist. As long as we're not speaking moistly, as a dumbass once said to the entire country, we should be safe. Did I ever bring back a clear umbrella from Japan? No, I have one though. I ordered one off Amazon that's very similar to what they sell there. I don't really like it that much. Thank you, Sam. Did the stream just freeze, or is it just you? I hope it's just you. Because I'm holding this umbrella, I can't really monitor it all that well. It's freezing. Uh-oh, let me check. Oh, Drew says we're back, so there's no cause for concern. You know what? I want to change a setting. Last time this happened, it froze for a second on Friday night. I ended up losing the stream because I had a setting that if it ever drops out, it would just instantly end the stream. But we were almost at the end anyway, so I never bothered to start it up again. Let's just have a quick pit stop. So I'm gonna just change it so it doesn't automatically nuke itself, and I can put my umbrella away. According to this, my connection is as strong as can be. All right, YouTube. Oh, it's making me verify my identity on my own phone. I did set it to do that. That way, if my phone ever got stolen or anything, nobody could access my YouTube, even if they had my PIN code without having my fingerprint. So you're gonna have to cut my thumb off as well. That'll thwart those thieves. All right, I'm putting the umbrella away. So hopefully we won't have any more freezing issues. Canada just finished cutting the grass. AP is here. Shadow Joker. Did I see Jeanette in the chat? We lost several critical seconds. Oopsie doopsie. I saw a funny video where the husband used his toe to unlock the fingerprint. And away we go. I wonder if this rain will hit Midtown in a little bit. I have no idea which way it's blowing through. Super chat, Marge, $5 for whatever fund needs funding. Oh, thank you, Marge, for the $5. I think that's going into the lunch or dinner fund. That's where that's going. Thank you, Marge. Oh, sorry to hear, Jeanette. Sick with, oh no, the norovirus. You caught it from your grand-twins. If that's what I'm thinking it is, I knew someone whose entire family had that. And they were very grateful to have 3 bathrooms in their house of 4. Pauline says Midtown had the rain earlier. So I must have missed it, because when I left my apartment and went to Eglinton Station, it hadn't rained yet and there was no moisture on the ground or anything. Hello. Hi.
Yeah, I follow your channel.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Cheers. Friendly viewer. And we've got the shades on now. They're a little wet and kind of obscuring my vision. Let's take them off. Gaby says Noro is awful. Both ends of you at once. Not fun. Well, Jeanette, hopefully it runs its course in a very short order. Gordon says it rained in Midtown the same time as here. We had a viewer say it wasn't raining in Midtown, although Midtown is kind of a huge area. A lot of people think of it as around Yonge and Eglinton, maybe Yonge and Shepard, but Bathurst and Yonge and St. Clair, but Bathurst and St. Clair is also Midtown. Technically, Summer Hill is Midtown. And Bayview Village, a small but slightly upscale shopping center, is across the street. I think there's plans to build a bunch of condos in the parking lot there. I don't know, brown donkatsu or deer Saigon for lunch after. I could go for a bowl of pho. Shadow says there was some rain there in Bowmanville for a little bit. There's the condo that's kind of shaped a little bit like a cruise ship, at least if you're looking at it from head on. There's Bayview Village. I usually save videos through there for the winter time. And those smaller malls and that sort of thing. Keniston Park. Hey, I can actually pronounce the name of that one. Alright, coming up is Bayview. There's dude banging on the windows of all the cars waiting to turn left. And there's a proposal for a couple of towers in front of this YMCA at 45 and 55 stories. So you live right on the subway line. There's a supermarket. Unfortunately, it's Loblaws across the street. At least it's somewhat convenient. Yeah, I recorded part of that cruise ship condo near Erin Mills when I did my Erin Mills Town Center video a few weeks back. David lives in that condo. Awesome. We're in David's neighborhood. You could follow Bayview here south all the way down to the Canary District and Corktown Common. It doesn't really get interesting though until you get about south of Sunny. Why am I forgetting the name of it? Sunnybrook, which is just south of the Bridle Path. Man, my memory is failing lately. They should dress up the window washing platforms to look like lifeboats. I don't think they have them on a building like that. I think people can just reach over and squeegee themselves to the other side. I may have CRS. Right. The next stop on line 4 will be the terminal station at Shepard Yonge. Blog CA says, welcome to North York. I was just thinking, or somewhere I haven't streamed in a while that would be easy to get to. I probably want to make another video tonight, and I have to think about packing up and getting ready to go away. I can't get my YouTube back. One sec. There we go. Yogi is here. Greetings, Yogi. And I can't wait for another travel vlog. One sec, sorry. Greetings, Todd Fuller. Johnny reruns were awesome. Well, there's over 3,000 of them at your disposal, but there'll be some new content coming up throughout the week. And I'll probably go live from wherever I am. Maybe on Wednesday or Thursday I'll go live. Nancy B. Lee, Chartered Accountant. Well, suddenly it's a very nice day. UPS truck just using the bike lane. Yeah, I don't think that's what that is there for. Doesn't say UPS lane on it. Any hints? Nah. Everyone will find out sooner or later. It's not that exciting. Am I going to Chile or Colombia? I wish. That one we can rule out. We're getting close-ish to Yonge and Shepard. And we're getting close to 400 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Friendly reminder to hit that like button if you haven't, or dislike if you don't. Doesn't really matter. YouTube treats them all the same. So much, guys. Friendly reminder. Oh, my microphone. To hit that like button if you haven't. What is going on there? Okay, let's see. I switched it away from the wireless mic. Let's see if this is better. Okay, let's see. I switched it away from the wireless mic. Let's see if this is better. Okay, I don't know what's causing this audio. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, well. What's causing this audio? Okay. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do something. Alright, let's see. Hopefully that just fixed it. Philip says his favorite break music. Let's see, we're on the... Fixed it. Yeah, I think that fixed it. Philip says his favorite. Thanks for the letting me know. Something went a little funky there. Nothing a little pushing some buttons can't fix easily. Soren says sorted. Better for now. Little gremlin invaded the phone, but it's all good. Better now, you're gonna miss robotic Johnny. Oh well. Look at these bike lanes. Wide enough for an emergency vehicle to use, I would think. And they've got them on both sides of the street. Philip says, I just discovered your channel a few days ago. You're not sure how you missed it all this time, but you're really enjoying it. Thank you, Philip. We've had an influx of new viewers, probably thanks to CP24. Which is weird. I've been in the media before on BlogTO. The Toronto Star ran like a full page feature on me. And those didn't really move the needle much, but this last one did. Susie found it during the pandemic. That was quite a while ago. Vietnam's pho and street food. Oh, is that Howard Charco? I knew it was you.
Me.
Howard Charco. You're tracking me down again?
Of course. Look, brother.
You're just a tall little man, aren't you?
You see, when I was sitting down inside, you didn't realize how big I was.
No,
right?
you're what, 6'6"?
5'21". 6'9".
Oh, wow.
I get asked so often. 5'21".
All right.
Gotta go figure. I have a couple questions.
Sure.
How many did you eat?
2.
Well, that's why you fell asleep.
Well, I was also like after a long day. It was a long day of driving.
Long drive. I know. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Look, they're all organic.
Mm-hmm.
I grow it in my yard. I refine it. I do the cookies. I used to smoke. I quit 15 years ago. I don't drink because I don't like hangovers.
Yeah.
You'll as you age, as you get older, you'll learn to dislike a hangover more and more as you mature.
Oh, I've learned that.
Yeah, well, you're at that age. I was your age too. I used to pound like crazy, man. You know,
Yeah.
I've been through hell. So these are for you.
All right. Some baked treats.
They're the small ones.
Can you hold this for a sec? I just
Sure.
want to throw this in my backpack. We'll take a
Sure.
peek. Oh, they're sealed. No. Can I show them? That's some. Well, thank you, Howard.
You're welcome, sir.
Let me.
You know, you said you were going live last night, and I thought, okay, if he's going to be close to where I am, it's not too far to go all the way downtown. I thought, what the heck, I could do it again. My pleasure. You know, this is my enjoyment in life, right?
Well, it's a pretty good life you're living if that's.
You know, I haven't got much longer to go, so it is what it is. You just accept it and you go with it.
Well, you enjoy it and make the most, right?
That's right. Hey, before you know it, time, you know, it just comes and goes. So there was an old watchmaker, retired watchmaker, full of watches, wrist watches. So he strung a bunch of wrist watches together and he made a belt. It was a waste of time.
Hey, we got a joke in there as well. Well, thank you, Mr. Charco.
My pleasure.
Drive safe.
My pleasure.
And I will.
Enjoy your holiday. Have the best one.
I don't know if I can take these on a plane. And
No,
what's the best way to store them? Room temperature in the container, in the
Put it
freezer?
in the freezer. There's eggs in it, so they'll keep for 3 months in the freezer.
All right. Well, I'll probably have one tonight, and I'll put the rest in the freezer. Maybe I'll have one on the stream next Sunday. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Howard.
Cheers.
Drive safe. Cheers. All right, guys, 1 second here. I gotta fix the audio again, but thank you, Howard Charco. Thank you so much, Howard. We will be back in a jiffy. All right, we should be back. Love how we get dropped into a blizzard. Another interlude. I'll be back. Stridinator. Hopefully we're back. But thank you again, Howard. All right, we should be back. All right, there's a very stupid reason for that. What's interfering with the audio, but I have permanently fixed it. I suspected what it was. Just a parasite problem. And it's all good now. No sponsors during intermissions. Speaking of which, I mentioned this on my live stream last night, but I am rocking a smart ring. One of the major producers of these things reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in trying one. And I don't normally accept stuff like this or work with sponsors or anything like that. But every once in a while something kind of aligns with what I do, or it's something that I'd be interested in buying anyway, so I said sure. So I'm testing it out for a few weeks. And if I don't like it, the sponsor or this company has two options. One, I can send it back to them and we'll just forget this whole thing ever happened. Or two, I can tell everyone I didn't like it on my videos. But if I do like it, you'll get to learn what this product is and what I learned about it and what I like and dislike. But basically it's just tracking a bunch of my health metrics. Splendid Nails Limited, Domino's, Esfahan. So we're getting somewhat close to Yonge. This is Willowdale Avenue. Splendid Nails Limited, Domino's. The Peri Peri Shack. Oh wow, nice bet. We just missed it. There's Willowdale Avenue. Whoa. That car almost backed out into that Toyota. That Tony says always issues with this channel, unlike other 12-hour streams, no issues. Really? You've never seen anyone have connection issues on other live streams? Also, compare the streaming quality of this versus them. We're going at over 3 times the bit rate at what most streamers do. Literally on a big TV, it looks much better. That's a price I'm willing to pay for a little bit of added technical complexity, I guess you could call it. But sure, compare this stream to some potato vision going on for 12 hours. It's not quite the same. Bessarion Ave. And that issue was actually an iPhone problem. There was a setting on my phone I had to change to permanently fix it. Today is Tim Burton's birthday as well. Well, happy birthday, Tim Burton. On the off 1 in a billion chance he happens to be watching. iLab, Internet Light and Power. Did I see what Rampage Jackson's son did? I saw a post with his name on it on Reddit, but I didn't click it. But it sounded pretty brutal. It's not often you carry your 65-inch TV with you. Well, the channel metrics show over 70% of viewers are either on a desktop platform or a smart TV. Susie says, I'm literally walking by your oral surgeon right now. Did we already walk by it, or is it this one coming up? Dentist, new patients welcome. I've stopped going to my local dentist. I was saving all my dental work for when I'm in Thailand, but I haven't been there in a while. I might have to visit a local dentist just to get a checkup this year. But since I quit my job, I haven't had insurance. And it's just been so much cheaper to do it overseas. Although if you tell a Canadian dentist you don't have insurance, they'll miraculously come up with much better prices. It's funny how that works. And my last dentist here would always find a way to max out my insurance allotment. It would somehow charge exactly what I was allowed to bill to insurance every year. It didn't matter what I needed done. That old burger joint was actually called the Burger Place, just north of Shepard on Willowdale. Good to know. Lisa is in the chat. Whoa. Nice driving in that Toyota Tundra. He drove right into the curb. Not sure why that truck there laid on its horn. Ted Kennedy and Neil Armstrong both died on the same day. Interesting. A virtual tourist says they lobby the government to allow that to be legal. I don't know, everyone always calls the insurance companies the root of all evil, but they themselves are just constantly getting scammed and worked by other entities. It's this big, nasty, vicious cycle. Lisa said drivers really hate bike lanes. We saw a UPS truck just driving in the bike lane earlier. Jenny says, loving the North York stream, watching from your workshop, and it makes the afternoon better. Hi all, well, thanks for tuning in, Jenny. Glad you're here. Math Doctor says, too many distracted drivers these days. Oh, whenever I'm crossing the street in front of my apartment, there's a set of lights, and without fail, almost every time I look into the cars that are queued up at the red light, somebody is on their phone. Rolling through the stop signs. Is this land officially a park? I don't see a sign. I also don't see any of the typical landscaping you would see in a park, other than these rocks. I wonder what the reason why this is like this is. Location Mobile Tire. We come to you. Hey, Denny's coming soon. That's a neat addition. Over at the Yonge and Shepard Center. Jumbo TV says only if it's a 24-hour Denny's. Is there any way to find out? They're probably saving a lot on rent by being on this side of the intersection. How's the vibe at the new Cactus Club? Yeah, I thought that was an odd location for that. Johnny, when do you head back to Thailand? Says Susie G. Not on the radar, so couldn't tell you. There's a sign that says Whole Foods on the left. They're going to have to take that down. I'll stop and let this Mercedes turn. Bill Chow used to work at or near Yonge and Shepard. Yeah, it's a neat neighborhood. There's the Cactus Club Cafe. Oh, that Mercedes turned right from the center lane. That's why they got honked at. Carlito's Way was at a Firkin near Yonge and Shepard Station. Saturday night, you got so hammered. Well, where are we going, folks? We've still got some battery life. I just did a video going north up Yonge Street here, but I was on the east side for most of it. But do I really feel like going south all the way down to York Mills? Maybe going north here is a better option. Vivian says south. I may have already decided North Vivian. South will be a long trek under the 401. And then we would probably just finish at... That's me, hello.
You doing?
Good, you want to be on stream?
Good luck, Mr. Shaw. I didn't know you were so tall.
It's
I
not
watch
that...
your videos.
Oh, thank you. Friendly viewer? Douglas says, do we have power to control you? Maybe. Who knows? Right.
Take care.
Have a good day. He said, I didn't know you were so tall. I didn't know that either. I think 5'11" is a pretty blend-in normal height. There's the Cactus Club. You know what, Vivian? Next time we're in the area, we'll go south here. I just kind of like going north. I have the option to put the kibosh on things at Empress Walk. Do I have any videos on Corso Italia? Yes, I do. And I think T-Shots just did a video on Italian enclaves in Toronto. I didn't see it, but I saw the title of it. Howard Charco is 5'20". Didn't he say 5'21"? He was a very tall dude. Last time I saw him, he was just in his minivan, or not his minivan, his SUV. All right, there's someone on the left I probably don't want to point the camera towards, so we're just going to keep it pointed right. The frog. Lisa thinks I'm tall, but you're 5'4". You're Dutch and 5'4". I remember getting pancakes at a restaurant in Amsterdam, and our waitress was like over 6 feet. Yes, I said waitress. That's a very tall-ass country. Toronto Korean Festival. One packed. Isn't BTS making a comeback? Stop into the Firkin to say hi to Nicole French. That's a good idea, but going into a private business and shoving a camera in someone's face might not be super appreciated, but I'll shout out Nicole French. It's one thing if they invite me to do it. Lisa says I know. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, you're always pointing out things on my streams. I think, the Netherlands is on average the tallest country on earth. Well, she is one of my best. Maybe next time. We've already crossed the street. This rain is fairly off and on. Dirk G, greetings, Johnny, as well to you and the whole awesome Toronto community on Henry's Saturday stream. Starts about 4:32 via video call. Thank you for your great work for us, Dirk G. I remember when you called in to one of my live streams. Greetings from Toronto all the way over to Germany. Thank you, Dirk G, for the 10 euros. It looks like I might have to wipe off my front lens. Napo gamjatang, authentic Korean pork bone soup. Should I do it? Should I go up to Deer Saigon and have a bowl of pho for lunch? I'm thinking about it. All right, Jillian Felix, good luck on your phone interview tomorrow. Yeah, I know it's pronounced pho, but over here in the ignorant West, we say faux. There's always some smartass pointing that out. Did you know it's actually pho? And you're saying it wrong? It's like, yeah, I know that. I just choose not to be that one person out of 1,000 annoyingly calling it pho. Oh, Math Doctor says there's another new one on the way. And there's Pho and View, I think, opening up in Midtown, where Snakes and Lattes used to be, or Snakes and Loggers, whichever one it was. Prior to that, it was a Spring Rolls, if you remember that chain. Darren says, I loved your interview on CBC, especially when you commented on those who don't have much mobility like I do. Thank you. Well, thank you, Darren, for the kind words and for tuning in. It's much appreciated. Glad to have you here, Darren. Hopefully you're finding some value in the content. If not from me, then from the great community that participates in the chats on these. Something new is going in over there. That was like a discount shop for a while. And another carcass of a Jack Astor's. There's one on John Street, just north of Adelaide, downtown, and there's one right here. And it looks like they had a great rooftop patio up there. Hopefully something moves in that can utilize it. I don't know if they're taking things down from the Korean festival that was here over the weekend or if they're setting up for something new. That's Mel Lastman Square, formerly what served as City Hall for North York before the amalgamation. Alright, if we keep going north here, we are going to be committed to going all the way up to Finch. I used to go to that Wendy's for lunch. Well, I'm glad you do, Darren. Lee with the super chat. Oop. Thank you so much, Lee. Good to see you here. Hope you're having an awesome Monday so far. Thank you very much. Carlito's Way says 25 bucks for chicken fingers and fries and $10 pints didn't cut it for Jack's. I hadn't been to Jack Astor's in a long time, and I went to the one at Yonge and Bloor, I think around January or February, and it was pretty ho-hum. And from a value point of view, it wasn't very good. Michael Brownlee, yes, this stretch of North York has turned into quite the corridor. Vertej is feeling excited to see Jaws.
Draw the big screen.
Kinton Ramen, Shawarma Max, Izakaya, Tokyo Grill. Austin Pizza. Douglas says, do I find each store in a chain varies in quality? For restaurants, it depends. I think the Keg is pretty spot on wherever you go. But yeah, sometimes you're at the mercy of whomever you get. Like when I go to Chipotle, sometimes they just pile on the toppings, and sometimes they're super stingy about it. I've literally had burritos just explode the second I took the foil off. They were so packed. And I've had other ones that I could easily eat handheld and they don't fall apart at all. So, and sometimes their steak is on point, sometimes it's not. So I tend to get the chicken from there, because it's always pretty good. He says you looked as if the weather improved. Yeah, it was only supposed to be like a 20-minute downpour, according to the forecast. Food Hall TO. There's a Burro Loco, looks like a Mexican place. Canaan Na, Spice Island, Malay Lanka, and Momo. Couldn't really see in there too much. DEOUNB. Sorry, I cannot pronounce that, but with the 1090 Real, I believe that is. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's definitely appreciated. I think that's what the R stands for. It is windy. Kurtesh says, what's for lunch? Possibly a big bowl of beef noodle soup. All I had this morning was my usual big smoothie. Oh, Kodak Biet. Is that the place someone was mentioning earlier? Grand opening. That'll be worth trying out. Dakgogi. Usak Hoja, Korean Bistro. Doctor says that's right. Thanks for confirming. Get some bone soup malatang. And the famous Owl of Minerva. 5% off, cash only. Well, most credit card fees are what, in the neighborhood of 2 to 3%? So they're giving you 5% off? And they might accidentally forget to report some of those sales to the tax man, which is why most places do cash discounts. I'm not saying that place does it. That's common practice. It is what it is. Do I make smoothies from fresh or frozen fruit, says Douglas. The banana is fresh, but the berries, mango, and pineapple are usually frozen. says he heard that Calgary was voted the best city to live in. By whom? But there's different metrics. I'm sure you can make a solid case for Calgary. Probably not if you don't like your winters so cold. Ella just saw me from their balcony. Too bad Ella didn't see me under my umbrella. Ella. Okay, there's a reason I don't sing. Philip says the smoothie sounds really good right now. I tend to have them for breakfast. Once a week or so, I'll make scrambled eggs or some protein pancakes. Usually I stick to my morning smoothie. Then I have like a protein smoothie right after my workout. And that's all I've had today, a couple of smoothies. So I still need to have my lunch. Men's haircut, $15.99. I remember talking about that once here, and someone said it's very difficult to get that price if you go in. Mr. Pang. Good afternoon, Carl Roth. Good to see you here. If you're just tuning in, we started at Leslie Station on Shepard Avenue East, and I went west over to Yonge. Now we're going north up towards Finch. And that will probably be our final destination. Ryan says it's good to stay lightweight. I'm actually trying to put some pounds on. I'm trying to gain about 2 pounds or so a month. Philip says, I feel inspired. You should get a gimbal and do something like this around Burlington. Go for it. Why not? All right, Math Doctor. Have yourself a good boogie. There's the restaurant me and my friends would always call Green Sign, but we'd always go to their Koreatown location. Sundabu Dolsotbap, Bukchongdong Sun Tofu, Korean restaurant. I'm glad they took down their silly sign opposing the North York Complete Street program. Where is Action Kid? You'll have to ask him, but he made an appearance on my live stream last night, at least in the chat. I mentioned his name as being an inspiration for when I started doing the narrated videos way back in the early days of this channel, and then he popped in. Michael says lift weights, take creatine. I do both of those, sir. But the problem is if you don't eat excess calories, the gains start to stall out. It's the laws of thermodynamics. You can't build something from nothing. Yeah, I was a little weary. You hear all these stories about people losing their hair who start taking creatine. But there's fortunately absolutely no valid research that shows that, just anecdotal evidence. And of course, a bunch of 40-somethings start taking something, it's going to coincide with some of them naturally losing their hair. It's one of the few things I have left, my hairline. I like to keep it. H-Marts. Our Toronto says, and there's the Xerox building, aka the North American Center. I worked in the other building on the other side of this one for a year back in 2007. Claw me, baby. All right, here's Deer Saigon. Let's just go to the other side of the intersection here. I'm gonna think if I want to have this for lunch or not. All right, Carl Roth, I'll have to take a look out for the Madison Center. Chicken in the kitchen, that's new. There's Deer Saigon. This place, that one has been there forever. RD says 2007 was a simpler time. Yeah, there used to be a John Anderson's Diner just north of here. Oh, if I could only tell myself to buy some NVIDIA stock for like 8 cents back then. Collect some of that Bitcoin stuff when it got released. I'd be chilling somewhere with a few Lambos to my name. You just saw the word fart. You know what? I'm gonna actually go somewhere at Yonge and Eglinton for lunch, I think. I'm not saying I'm gonna pick up Chipotle, but I'm not saying that. Got a few things to get done. I don't know if I can dilly-dally in a restaurant for 45 minutes. Toronto Persian cuisine. RD says Chipotle. Yeah, I just can't stop going back there. So we're going to cross the street at Hendon here, or I guess Bishop. Hendon to the west, Bishop to the east. Splurge for the guac. I always say everything but no guac when I get to the second station at Chipotle. But every once in a while they misinterpret that as everything including guac. And then it gets awkward when it's time to pay and I'm like, I'll just pay for it. Lisa says, don't I get bored of it? No. There's where I used to work for a year of my life at a company called AXA, AXA. Intact Insurance bought out their book of business, but AXA has reborn itself in Canada. I think they opened an office on the West Coast. I met some great people working there. That company was no more shortly after I moved to Korea. But they kept on all the employees. They folded them into Intact. So I could have been working at university and college. Get off the sidewalk, buddy. There's a fucking street right there. Pardon my French. Drew says, I would just say everything but guac. Yeah, that's usually what I say. But sometimes they misinterpret that. And then when it gets rung up with guac, I have that debate in my head. Do I tell them I said everything but guac? And then the person who made it's going to think I'm lying or I screwed up when they screwed up. So usually I don't say anything and I just pay for it. But it's happened about 5 times, maybe in a few hundred orders. But we have reached the end of the stream. Started at Leslie Station, made our way to Yonge, and then came up north to Finch. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank everyone so much who tuned in. Mods, you've been excellent. Thank you. Marge, Vivian, Yogi was here, Madano, Sanjay, and Kingston. I want to thank everyone who sent support over the stream. It's definitely appreciated. Patreon supporters, channel members, and just everyone else. Like, subscribe, hit the bell on the way out. But that's about it, eh? Thank you so much, guys. There'll be a video tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. EST on the channel. Yoink!